Never was very good with technical things. Thank you, Alan, and good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Phil. And if you choose to believe rumour and gossip, then I am indeed the father of the groom. I would also like to thank everybody for being part of today's celebration, especially to those of you who have obviously given up your Strictly Dancing, X Factor and Celebrity Jungle to be here tonight. So when preparing for this speech, I thought long and hard about what to include. And one obvious avenue was to relate some mildly amusing moments from Brad's past, or to highlight some of his strange characteristics. But on the basis that he has more on me than I have on him, and in the interest of self-preservation, I'm going to skip that part. And then I looked through some photographs of the kids for inspiration. One in particular stood out from the others. It was a picture of our boy lying on the floor in front of his mum, dribbling, gurgling, and trying to take a few steps. And it's quite a special photograph because it's the only one we have of Brad on his stag night. Today is not just a celebration of the love that's united Louise and Brad in marriage. It's also a celebration of the two families that have created and moulded these two very special people. So my wife Les and I would like to give a very big thank you to you, Marion and Alan, and your family, and to thank them for making this such a special day to remember. Before continuing, I would like to take a moment also to remember those loved ones who are no longer with us, as Alan did, and they would be so proud and happy for Louise and Brad today. So with them in mind, would you please all stand, raise your glasses, and join me in the toast to absent family and friends.
Family and friends.
Thank you. Now I believe this is the point where I do have to say something about Brad. Well, I first met him in 1982 when he was born, so I have known him a long time. And I remember saying to Les at the time, Les, did you ever imagine in your wildest dreams that I would become the father of a baby boy after such a long gap of 9 years? She said, no, you don't actually feature in any of my wildest dreams. But over the years, Les and I have been proud to watch Brad grow and develop into the mature, hard-working, considerate, caring and responsible man that he is today. It says here. You often wonder as a parent just how well your children will turn out. What sort of life decisions will they make? What friends will they choose? Who will they pick as a partner to share their life with, and will you approve? Well, for what it's worth, Brad, we both think you've made a cracking choice.
Yeah.
Sticking with tradition, I think at this point I'm also supposed to pass on some worldly advice to my son and new daughter-in-law to help them enjoy their new marital status. Well, Brad, I have two bits of advice that I hope you'll find of use. The first is really to enjoy your honeymoon period. And if you're not sure what that is, let me explain. This is the time in your marriage between I do and no, you can't go out with your mates tonight. The second is specifically based upon personal experience. I'm sure the words, yes love, of course you can buy it. And yes darling, of course we can turn football off and watch Coronation Street. Now we've got two grown-up daughters, so over the years I've only ever got used to having son-in-laws. And the beauty with son-in-laws is you can go to football with them, you can go down the pub with them, you can have a swear together with them, and all those men together type things. Now of course Louise is my first daughter-in-law, and in the early days I must admit I wasn't quite sure what to expect from a new kind of relationship. But I needn't have worried. The first time I'm meeting with Louise, I quickly realised that nothing much was going to change. And the first time Les and I met with Marion and Alan, out of the blue, Alan asked me what did I think of Louise the first time we met her. Well, not usually being one to be stuck for something to say, but catching me off guard, I blurted out the first words that came into my head. And that was, well, I thought she was a good looker. Probably not the most appropriate thing to say to a girl's father the first time at meeting. But looking at Louise today, who would disagree how right I was? Anyway, what those few words gave me were a few more seconds to think of a sensible answer. I followed it with the most emphatic point that struck both me and Les, and that was how very much she was into the family. And she certainly is, very much like ours. Louise slotted into our family from day one, and I think I'm correct in saying that Brad did with yours, Louise. Although with Brad it might have been more day 2 or 3. Now you've got to listen for this one. And now that is bonus, it has to be said that Les and I immediately gelled with Marion and Alan.
Their name's Gel.
Now it may seem strange that on this occasion, amongst all the happiness and joy today, that I should introduce a serious item into the proceedings. As a parent, I've always said that there is no workshop manual to refer to when you have children that tells you the correct way to bring them up. We all kind of muddle through, totally inexperienced, and do what we think is right at the time. And of course, sometimes we get it wrong. So whilst this is the happiest day today, Brad, it feels right for me to offer up some regret on my part and an apology. Though he has never blamed me, or indeed ever said anything about it, I do know it has from time to time, and perhaps more often than it should, caused him grief and heartache. So today, Brad, I seek forgiveness and that I can bury the guilt once and for all. I am, of course, talking about the day he was born, when he was only 4 hours old. And over his cot, I draped the smallest Spurs football shirt that I could find. And this began his lifelong support for our beloved Spurs Football Club. And the continual disappointment throughout his life. Yeah. All I can say is, Brad, I thought I was bringing you up correctly, and believe me, the heartache is shared. But in fact, sharing Spurs and football with Brad was the start of a wonderful friendship. When he got into his teenage years, the Brentwood school elite started to learn to drink. Yeah. And myself, together with a few of the dads of his friends here today, Phil, Ollie, Sean, we took them along to the various watering holes along Brentwood High Street. But it wasn't long before they left us all behind. Well, me certainly anyway. And then a sad time was when he left home and Brentwood School to go on holiday for 3 years to Exeter University. On his return and into his 20s, saw a whole new chapter in his chosen career and at Old Brentwood's Football Club, where he forged more long-lasting friendships with teammates, many of whom are here this afternoon. And here we are today, and I know today that Les and I are supposed to welcome Louise into her family, but the truth is, from day one, she has been like another daughter to us. And by that I mean, she was soon leaving her clothes all over the house, staying in bed till midday and drinking all my wine.
That's my daughter.
And so finally, it is my very great pleasure today to propose a toast to Marion and Alan, not only for the expense of today, but also for taking them, also for them taking my son. And as his alleged father, let me warn you, Alan, what you are getting for your money. He cost me a fortune as a bachelor, so I hope he will prove a bit cheaper as a married man. Please everybody, I give you the bride's parents, Marion and Alan.
Thanks, Phil. Been disappointed on the stories. If anyone wants to see Phil after for some uncensored stories about Brad, he'll be at the bar. So, and I'll be at the bar as well, so you can have a talk to me. Just before Brad steps up, I'd just like to echo something that Phil said